Good, I'm glad that music died away before we got a copyright strike. I'm grateful for that. Indeed. This seems thoroughly pleasant. Because of someone, I am still at work. Hang on a minute, 1978 plus 20, 1998. You didn't have laptops like that in 1998? I don't know, because I wasn't there. I wasn't even alive for another 3 years. But pretty sure we didn't have laptops like that back in the old days. The only things about the night shift is that there is hardly anyone here, and I can make videos for TikTok. Because again, TikTok was a thing in 1998. Back even before the internet was. Okay, the internet did exist in 1998, I think, to some degree at least, but certainly not in the sense that TikTok was. This is weird. This seems like a much more modern version of Halloween rather than a 1998 one, but never mind. Maybe they meant 40 years instead of 20. I don't know. I also don't know where I'm going, or what's up with these camera angles that mean I can't see where the hell it is I'm going. I don't know, but I seem to have finished my work and I've left the coffee shop. Indeed. Anyway, yes, so this is an unreally blurry production, if you ask me. This is a Halloween game, obviously, as you saw by the likeness of Mr. Shatner there. And these camera angles are very selective, aren't they? Dear. Yes, it's Michael Myers' game. It is apparently a sequel. It's called Part 2. Where Part 1... Oh good, here's the music that gets the copyright tag. Where Part 1 is, I don't know, because I can't find it on the developer's page. I can find Part 2 and I can find Part 3, but I can't find Part 1. So we're going to pretend that Halloween game I played in that shotgun ages ago, which was made by somebody totally different, is the first part, and this is the second part, even though it's totally different. I hate night shift, especially during Halloween. What kind of job do I have that merits this kind of office and this kind of dress code? I have no idea, but it's certainly very modern. And here is the office of the foot fetishist. Excellent. I'm so glad about that. So, yes. I'm also not convinced this is, in any sense of the word, a full game, in the sense that apparently it's just meant to be a sort of a teaser demo type thing. But, again, I can't find a full version of it, so we're just sort of stuck with it. What? Alright. Fair enough. I'm going to guess this is not the restroom. I mean, this is sort of a room where you'd have a rest. Man, it must have been really good to come in here and put your coat away in the locker in between all of the ping pong matches. Absolutely wonderful. This seems immensely fancy. I mean, pool, ping pong, snooker, miniature Sabutio. Okay, weird. Very strange office that we have here. What does that say? Do not forget thrice your past. No. Remember where you came from, so that you can be grateful for the opportunities this economy has provided you with. Or some such rubbish. Where's the bathroom in this place? I have no idea. This office really strikes me as some kind of sort of trendy San Francisco startup thing. Like some sort of thing where if you turn up to work dressed the way I am, you get shot. And everybody demands that you turn up. Looking much more modern. Now where the hell is the bathroom? It's right here. I was going to say, at least one of the great advantages of fixed camera angles is that we don't have to follow inside the bathroom. But no, it seems that we do. And there's one thing I know about Michael Myers, and that is not very much. It's that I'm not sure part of his MO is murdering people in offices. I thought he was a bit more into sort of teenagers in drinking parties. But perhaps I'm wrong. It would seem that I am, yes. If the idea of this is to make me really dislike the protagonist so that I enjoy the murdering of them, which is a common tactic used in slasher movies, then good. You're doing a good job of that. Rot then. I am scared. I hate the dark. I hope my colleague is resolving the situation because I'm not capable of doing it myself, you know. Idiot. Nevermore. I learned the lesson. That's a lesson a hell of a lot of people need to learn, but never freaking mind. Are you resolving the situation? Well, that was a nice scream. Ah, I didn't know there was anybody else here. I thought it was just me and my bestest friend in the whole wide world here, who seems to have had most of his face ripped off, which is quite nice. Can I follow the footprints and see where they lead? What they lead me to, even. Man alive, he must have drained all the blood out of my colleague and then put them into a little bucket and then bathed his shoes in them for about half an hour to get footprints that lasted quite this long. Oh, where are you, Michael? I wish to get internet popularity for through my phone for oh, he needed to relieve himself. I can empathise. Through finding a human-shaped cryptid. Behind you. I misread that damn you at first. What is behind me? I think the policeman's gun will save me from the situation. Yeah, because a terrified person with a gun is definitely going to go really well. There's absolutely no chance whatsoever that you might hurt yourself. Right then. Where is the security guard, exactly? I think he's over there. I was going to say, can I run? Not really, I can sort of jog. Which I should have predicted, really. May I have this enormous blunderbuss, please? How convenient. Yes, because Michael Myers is famous for being killable with a gun. He's kind of famous for literally the exact opposite, but never mind. I'm in the storage. He pushed me in here. I'm in trap. Yes, I do find myself wondering how exactly you got hired by this company when you don't even seem to have a GCSE in English, but that's alright. That's not me ragging on the developer for having a language barrier. That is me ragging on the protagonist for being annoying. What does he want from me? Well, he probably wants to murder you. That seems to be his sort of shtick, as I understand it. But I'm not alive. What does this company sell? I don't know, but we do seem to sell a lot of it. It must be contained in bottles. And I didn't see the jump scare again. I was too busy trying to figure out the corporate business model. Ah, the first aid kit. I should probably use this. Ah, no, of course not. I'm just going to completely ignore it. Never mind. Can I move on a little bit? No, not really. Oh, good afternoon. What does he want from me? I remember seeing it somewhere before, some time ago. Stop calling Michael an it. Alright, he might. What? The best way is to fight him, I think. Are you convinced? Because, I'm not. Where am I going to get a weapon, exactly? There must be something I can use, some item, some assault weapon, some big stick, or possibly just a load of soul-wrenching insults I can hurl at him. I don't know, but I do seem to have gotten myself into a dead end, which is less than optimal. Hello, Akane. I mean, the some of the slow movements are very accurate. He never was much of a scamper in a bat. So to that degree, it's rather accurate. How am I supposed to fight him? Seriously. I do appreciate the fact that the music is nice and calm and quiet, allowing me to think. There's a door up there. I could possibly escape, but if you ask me, it sounds like a much better idea than trying to fight him. But I am so angry. Seriously, there's no weapon anywhere. Am I meant to just like... Have you given up? Are you a bit... You're not feeling up for it today? Alright then, fair enough. I can empathise. We all have our bad days, even the serial killers amongst us. I really don't feel like coming back this way is the correct solution to this problem, but give it a try I shall, I suppose. I don't see that I've really got any other choice, given that I can't find a weapon anywhere, nor can I find a place to escape. But I can't climb up here, which means I'm screwed. What does that say? It is an address. Last time I checked, we didn't send parcels by sticking sticky labels on them, but it seems I stand corrected. That's just the kind of upheaval you have to bring to the traditional business model to survive in the tough San Francisco economic environment. Right then, shall we see if I can get myself stabbed with a large knife? Where is Mr. Knife? Where has he gone? Is he not willing to actually come in here? Is he like bounded to remain in the main warehouse here? Or did he just get stuck on something? Or did he get a little bit tired out again? I don't know, he seems to have vanished. Oh no, there he is. I spy his tootsies. He is waiting for me. But I have no interest in having a little meeting with him, as it were. Man, the frame rate looks lovely for you, doesn't it? It looks alright for me, but it looks absolutely awful for you. I sincerely apologise. What the hell just happened there? I don't know, I think I saw inside her skull there for a moment, which is interesting. And once Michael's through with her, we'll probably all get to see inside her skull. Yeah, I'm really confused. There's no weapon, and yet I'm told to fight, even though that doesn't seem like a good idea. There's nowhere to escape. There is in fact nothing, which is frankly leaving me a little amused. I suppose there's nothing to do apart from try and get myself murdered. No blood? No, alright then. Goodness, his own's even worse than mine is. I was meant to be doing something. I was meant to be contributing to the survival. I didn't realise I was supposed to. I thought it was a cutscene. I do apologise. We're gonna run out of room in a minute, you know. So why did you say you have to fight him and then just proceed to, you know, die to him? I don't know, but he's I might try shutting the door. Well, that's handy. Right. I'm still very, very confused, but at least we're slightly more likely to be alive. I do find myself wondering where the driver is. Did the driver intentionally kill him, or did the driver accidentally not realise that he was doing such a wonderful service to humanity? Oh, and that's that. Okay then. I'm really confused. I'm confused by the office. I'm confused by who we're supposed to be playing as. Are we playing as an established character within the Halloween franchise, or are we playing as just another victim of Myers? Because the interesting thing about Myers is he doesn't just randomly kill people, he always wants to kill people who are in some way associated with his history. So I feel like she must have some kind of connection to it, but maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I really don't get why everything seems so modern when unless I'm very much mistaken, it is set in the late 90s. Because I'm pretty sure, in fact, let's start it up again so that we can check it. I'm pretty sure that it said 20 years later after saying 1978. So let me quickly check that, and then we should have a look at part 3. Yes, 1978. "20 years after." Yes, that is 1998. I've crunched the numbers, and that is 1998. I'm just going to do some little bit of research. Yes. The app was launched in 2016 by a Chinese technology company. And last time I checked, 2016 came after 1998. But it seems that me and the developer are going to have a little bit of a disagreement about that. Right then, never mind. Let's have a look at the third part and see what we've got going on there. Right then, he has been scooped up off the road, put in an ambulance with presumably 0 bodyguards, and we're now implying that he's dead, which is definitely true. I mean, Michael Myers goes around committing some horrific crimes, but never anything as evil as graffitiing. But it seems we all have something to learn about the mysterious man. Is it strictly a story by you? I mean, if you're like expanding upon the universe and including characters and events that weren't portrayed in the films, then I suppose you could argue and say that the story is by you, but I think the story is mostly by somebody else. But never mind. I guess they're trying to sort of do the credits more like a movie than the credits you get for a game, so to that extent I understand what they're going for. I'm just being crass as usual. Right then, speaking of crash... I do spy a dead body there. I don't know whether that's the driver or one of the attendees or somebody else entirely. Is this us? What was that noise? I don't know. Maybe it was an ambulance flying off a bridge and crashing into something. I don't know, but I'm a man with a slightly achy shoulder. Not achy enough for me to actually merit holding it, but just slightly achy enough for me to sort of have the idea of doing it, but never quite fully committing to it. Alright then. At least we seem to have a slightly less fan service character this time around. Do you want me to go and investigate the little accident? Oh, well, there's little lights going over the bridge for other cars. That's nice attention to detail. The wobbling wheel that we saw as we panned over the ambulance was also a nice touch. It reminds me of old cartoons and stuff. Whenever there was a crash, there would always be a wobbly wheel, but you never seem to see that anymore. So it's nice that we got that. Man alive. If I'm walking forwards and I try to strafe to the right, I seem to sort of crunch my body up into the most horrifically uncomfortable shape I've ever seen in my life. Man alive, them some moves. Oh dear. Not even paying any attention to this. Hi friend, you seem much bigger than me. Blood on the ground, maybe someone survived. Where? I mean, there's blood on the ground, which seems to belong to this dead-eyed freak over here, but nothing else that I can see. Alright then, let's go on a hunt. Oh, I'm sorry, it's just... Oh dear, it's just quite incredible and alive. That is genuinely quite amazing. Also, what's with the Minecraft texturing on this stone here? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't know. Right. Let's wander around a little bit and see if we can find our dear friend. Right then. Sorry, I feel like in both of these games I haven't really spoken that much about the game itself, and have more just been entertained in very, very different ways by these very different protagonists of ours. Oh dear, in case you're wondering, no, I can't sprint. At least shift isn't doing anything. In fact, I can find nothing that does anything other than lands. Which is curious. I do find myself wondering whether I actually wasn't supposed to come over here, because I do seem to have found the literal edge of the world. Let's stare off into the wild, misty yonder, and see if we can find any answers to the unending questions that fascinating fellows like Myers presents. I don't know, but I can fall off. Well done, Philip. You haven't even frickin' begun the game and you've already bollocked it. Right then. Now that the unskippable introduction has completed... Oh wait, no. I really shouldn't have started here again. I should have started once we got back to the ambulance. I think the thing was that drew me to explore the far side of the bridge is that, because the character moves so slowly, I rather assumed that we would just carry on going that way instead of coming back the way we've come, because of course we've already trudged along through here. So I sort of assumed that we would go off in a different direction rather than retreading the old ground again. But it would seem that I am wrong. Maybe in fact it didn't want me to like go off and look for a survivor. Maybe it meant there's like a survivor within the wreckage, like in the back. I need to go and like find Myers in the back of the truck. Perhaps that's more what it meant. Let's see if we can have a look at the back of the truck. I swear the scaling of that character model is off. Ah, yes. All of the blood that is here. This is probably what I was meant to be looking at. Can we see anything in the back? We can see a tree, but that is about all that we can see. Speaking of trees, oh, this was the blood you meant. The blood that we were 30 meters away from, and there was an ambulance blocking my line of sight. Ah, of course. Simple mistake to make. Right then, you wanted me on this side of the bridge, not the other side of the bridge where we could disappear into the abyss. That seems a bit more reasonable. Alright. Where does the blood trail lead? It seems to be leading over here, not over there. I do like, however, that the environment is relatively open, which is nice, which is sort of a rarity in these little games. You usually get much more sort of confined environments that are a lot more sort of restrictive than this. Right then. What can we find inside this little shack? Blood everywhere. Someone has entered the sewers. Because the best place to go when you've got open wounds is a place full of germs. Then again, I never did say Michael Myers was a medical genius. I must say, I'm enjoying the sort of the aesthetic and the camera angles in this one a lot more than I was in the previous one. I feel like this makes a lot more sense as well in terms of being part of the Halloween universe. I must say though, if I found a crashed ambulance and I thought there was a survivor, I have to confess that I wouldn't be brave enough to go down into the stinky sewers in order to look for a survivor. I think I'd probably just call the police. But just calling the police is something that people in slasher flicks seem to have an allergic reaction to doing so. But never mind. Maybe I'm just hoping it's a member of some medical staff and they can help me get all of the germs out of my hair after they've all been dripped on me from this lovely ceiling of ours. But yes, going back to what I was saying before about this seeming more believably in the universe, not just because of the technology, also the fashion. I feel like the fashion that was being displayed in the previous game didn't really line up to what was considered fashionable in 1998. It's not exactly my area of expertise, but it certainly does. It certainly does seem a bit more fitting what we've got now. Right then. I was about to open my Thatcher's teachers and start having a debate about the lack of sprinting. Oh good, some dinner. What is going on with my flashlight? Ah, good evening. Would you like a shower? You do seem to be in need of one. Oh, I'm actually supposed to be... Use left button to fight. Okay. Goodness knows what's going on, because I can't see anything. Let's scamper away. Oh, now I can sprint. Now I am able to do them. Right, let's have another fight. I really feel like Michael Myers is a bit tougher than this. And the boxing world champion has been announced. It is this purple jumpered man. And it turns out Michael Myers was actually a ghoul from Fallout all this time. Okay. Kitty out. Is he over there? Is he over there? Is he over there? I don't know. Okay then. So we've got a flashlight attached to a gun and a laser sight attached to our gun. And of the skinniest, weediest police officer I've seen in my entire life. I've watched a lot of police programs. Alright then. So we need to find the ambulance and then possibly find somebody who is cosplaying as Michael Myers and then shoot him and then get murdered by the person who actually is Michael Myers. Now, if that doesn't sound like a laundry list of fun, I don't know what does. It's an interesting loading screen, but never mind. Okay, here's the fire of the camp of the purple jumping person that we were playing as before. What is up with these character models, seriously? Do you have... No, I mean, strafing does something a bit weird with your hips, but it doesn't do quite as much as it did for the other gentleman. This must be the ambulance. Well done, detective. Never arrived at the hospital. What happened here? I can't imagine. Let's see, there's a bridge. And there's an ambulance that's not on the road. I wonder if a combination of pointing the steering wheel in the wrong direction and gravity might possibly have something to do with the explanation of how these circumstances came to pass. You'd think I'd call for a bit of frickin' backup. But never mind. What do I know about police procedures? Absolutely nothing. Alright then. I'm not entirely convinced that I'm enthused by the reusing of the environment here, in terms of treading the same ground twice. But let's see what we find. It is too dark here. I hope to find somebody. Yes. Yes, I hope you find somebody as well. It does seem oddly darker here than it was before, which is strange given that my flashlight seems to be more powerful than the last one. But never mind, I'm sure everything will go absolutely swimmingly. Specifically, absolutely swimming in poop. Where's the... Oh, goodness! Ow, where did that knife come from? You didn't have that earlier. Right, where's the light gone? It's all dark in here. Okay, let's run away a little bit. Now, where is he? Where has he gone? This beanie hat. I don't just mean the beans that he ate that he found on the floor. Seriously, where the hell has he gone? Well, your hopes were answered, friends. You did find somebody. You just didn't find anyone nice. You found somebody thoroughly unpleasant. He seems to have run away. This is not the real Myers, but the mask seems to have been taken from him. Why? Because Myers would never be this badly colour coordinated? I don't know. Alright, I've never heard of anyone in the Myers universe who actually pretended to be Myers, but I guess copycat killers are a thing. But that doesn't make much sense, because that guy was just living under an underpass. He was surprisingly well shaved for someone who was living over an underpass, but never mind. And then seemed to be worried about the ambulance and trying to investigate it to check if everyone was alright so that they could help, and then they suddenly turned into a serial killer after slightly slapping somebody around in self-defense. A man who, I should emphasize, didn't even have his normal knife. Dear, better turned back. Here there's no way out. Are we going to see that the body has disappeared? That's the sort of storytelling mechanic that usually appears at this moment. But can I reload my gun? No, it does seem to have an infinite number of bullets. Let's take advantage of that fact. And just shoot his cock off, if nothing else, just to make sure that we don't have to deal with another one of these in the next generation of policing. Right then. Given the fact that I seem to be about as well padded as a bed sheet, I'm going to guess I don't have any equipment with me, but if I did, I might request that we make use of the police radio and call for a bit of help. So, what happened to the real Myers then? Is he still around? Yes, there he is. Who is that man? I don't know, you wouldn't recognise him. He normally looks a bit different. That's definitely my man. Like, you've got a real steady hand there, friend. Hello. Isn't that the wonderful thing about Myers, that we literally have no idea what he looks like because it's never been shown. It's never even been, like, discussed what he might look like. Which is why we've been able to get away with having about 17 different people play as him in the movies. And it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Right then. He's probably not dead, because that's kind of his shtick. But I'm going to pretend that he is, so that I can become a famous police person. Aren't these the same credits that we had at the beginning? Oh well. I think that was a significant improvement on the second one. On the previous one. This is technically the second one because I can't find the first one. Yeah, big improvement. Much nicer environment, much more believable environment, more believable characters. I'm not, as I said before, I'm not convinced about the sort of the doubling up of the environments in terms of you exploring everything twice, but I suppose it has some advantages. But yes, that was an interesting little look into some Halloween franchise adaptations into video games. Yes. Right. Not sure what to think about that, really. A weird mix of some good elements and some slightly less desirable elements, but never mind. You can't have everything. Well, thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.